Hello besties, welcome to my channel. So here we have our suya, well garnished with onions, tomato, and it's really so spicy and hot. You're gonna love it. It's possible for you to make it at home. Just follow this procedure and you get it right. So let's get started. Here is our meat. You're actually gonna cut it into thin flat surface. If you can't work on it at home, you can give it to the seller in the market to help you slice it if they are generous enough to help you do that in the market. But if they are not generous enough to do it for you, simply get a very sharp knife and slice it thin and flat. So you just need pure beef and maybe perhaps little fat to give it that sweet taste. So now let's start adding the seasoning. You add your Maggi. Actually, I don't want to over season it so that it will not be too, I don't know how to explain it, but you understand. So I'm actually using half of my Maggi. It's a big size, so I'm putting in half. And this quantity of spice I used was really so perfect. It was just so okay and nice. So it depends on the quantity of meat though, depends. So now I'm adding little salt. This is just to give you that extra taste. So I'm adding little salt to it now. So thereafter you mix it in with your hands. Mix it in very well. So after that, you add in your suya spice. So I actually got my suya spice from aboki sellers. That's those people that make suya along the roadside. I got it from them. So everything has been grinded inside. You have your uda seed, kuli, grinded kuli, and they have some other things, masoro, and some other spices they usually add into it before grinding. That's this. Sellers, these suya sellers along the roadside. So you can just go and meet them and they will sell it to you. So now I'm adding it to extra pepper. That's grinded pepper. So I love it very chili. So I'm adding extra pepper to it. The grinded spice already have pepper, but I'm just adding extra. I like it very hot, a little, not so hot, but a little bit spicy. You understand? So thereafter you mix it in very well. Try mix it in very well. As you can see how I'm doing it, just follow the process and you get it right there. So once you are done mixing in well, the next thing you do is to cover with your foil paper. I want to marinate it for an hour. When I mean marinating, I mean leaving in the fridge for an hour so that the ingredients will rest in well. You understand? So I'm leaving it in the fridge for an hour. So here's my tray. My tray, I had to put foil paper at the base so that the droppings, the water from dropping from the meat and all the other things will drop into the foil and I can remove it later. So now I'm putting my rack on top of the tray with the foil paper. So now my meat has marinated for an hour. So now I want to place them on the rack. So you place them flat on the rack, the way you see me doing it here. So I'm done placing and arranged it neatly. So the next thing you do is to use your kuli oil. Those are aboki you see along the wayside. It's actually kuli oil they use. But if you don't have kuli oil at home or it was not easy for you to get, you can make use of groundnut oil. Like I could not get kuli oil, so I'm using groundnut oil in replacement of my kuli oil. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to lower my gas to 150. I'm using up and down. This is the conventional oven. So I'm using the up and down so that it will heat from bottom and at the top too. So now I've put in my oven is ready, the under part. So I'm turning so that I'll put my groundnut oil at the under part that I've turned upside down. So as you can see, I'm rubbing in my groundnut oil. I'm done rubbing it at the other side. So that's the droppings that I was telling you about. The oil and the other things dropping and the water from the meat. So I'm slotting it into the oven for the second time. I've oiled the other side. So our suya is ready, as you can see. So what I'm doing next is to take off the foil paper, so you can throw that off, like I said before. So our suya is ready. So the next thing to do now is to cut your suya into bits. The normal way aboki usually do it. Now when you tell aboki you want to buy suya for instance 500 naira, they'll get out their newspaper and start dicing it, something like that. So now I've diced it. I added my onions, my tomato. If you have cabbage and cucumber, you can also add it. Now you sprinkle your suya pepper. When you tell aboki, add more suya pepper, more suya spice, sorry. So he will add more. So that's how it is. So next thing I did was to place in my toothpick, because we are eating it immediately. So placing my toothpick, and it's ready to be consumed. So that is it. It's so lovely. It's a very rich snacks you can see in the streets of Nigeria.